you can see me being gaslit to death, please help. And she's saying to me, get out.
I honestly can't comprehend this from any way, shape or form. Can I ask what you're doing now?
I'm doing my admin.
She was projecting because she's the one that fucked it.
Said it, not me.
I'll say it again if you want. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to today's episode of the award-winning podcast, Crying in the DMs. I'm your host, Sarah McCarthy, and I'm joined today by Rachel, the director of PMDD North West. The work you are doing. It's so important for me today to mention as well that PMDD North West is a CIC. Rachel makes no profit from this business.
It's all emotional profit.
It's what's in the heart that counts, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
And the work you're doing, it's changing the lives of thousands of women. Where is it based at the minute?
So we go everywhere. We haven't got a space, so we've got no funding, we've got nothing. It's just me on my own, trying to bag free spaces everywhere around the North West. So every month we hold it somewhere different because I'm trying to give everyone a chance.
Just talk us through what PMDD North West does.
PMDD North West is, I'm led to believe, the North West first peer-led lived experience support system. There is another charity within the UK, which is called the PMDD Project, and they do amazing work, but not a lot of their stuff is face-to-face, and I think that's really important. So as a trained IPT therapist, I obviously know the importance of like connection and just face-to-face, actual concern for each other. We're doing that. We're doing amazing. And when I say we, it's actually just me, but we're doing amazing.
We are. You're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great.
Me and our Rach, we're doing dead well. And it's steadily growing each month. And the women that we're reaching, it's just lovely. It's just a lovely thing to be part of and facilitate.
Well, I wanted you on because the work you're doing, you can tell it's going to bang. It's going to bang eventually. It's going to go massive. I can see that a mile off. And PMDD in itself, it's an incredibly lonely condition that a lot of people don't understand.
A
lot of people think they're just having heavy periods. They think they're just having, depressive episodes every now and again. And I'll let you explain it, actually. What is PMDD?
So it's Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. So essentially, they used to think it was a mood disorder, but we've evolved and we've put a little bit more thought behind it now. So now we know it's essentially your brain. In layman's terms, your brain is allergic to your hormones. That's the simplest way to put it. Your hormones aren't all over the place. Your hormones will present as normal, but your brain cannot handle your normal hormonal fluctuations.
The way that it's processing it.
So different women present in different ways. We're actually starting to think now that there's subtypes of it. Again, it's evolving. It was only put in the DSM-5, I think, don't quote me, maybe about 15 years ago. So it's very new.
Women's have been having periods for millions of years, but around 15 years ago, we recognised PMDD as a real condition.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed 6 years ago and I didn't even know what it was when it was mentioned to me. I'd been diagnosed with bipolar, I'd been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, all these different things. And I just kept saying, I'm not depressed. I'm just depressed around my period.
Why is my depression situational based? Yeah. Madness.
And I didn't know that. It was actually a female GP who says, I'm connecting the doxia. Have you heard of this? And I was like, no. Went away and it was just like a little book that was written all about me, and I was able to go, oh God, that's what it is.
And there's going to be people watching going, hey, I get depressed around my period. How do you differentiate someone that's just depressed around their period, low mood because of hormones, and someone that has PMDD?
It's intense. I don't want to ever say that PMS is just PMS, because PMS in itself is a really shitty place to be. It's not 100%. Nice. It's not good, is it? But this is PMDD. If PMS is there, PMDD is up here. It's where clinical intervention is needed. It's where 1 in 3 women experience suicidal thoughts or have attempted suicide. I'm one of them.
God bless you.
I'm all right. I'm fine. It's something. Awareness is everything. If you know what's happening, you can get through it because you know you'd understand it. But I just dread to think how many young women, young mums out there who have been like I was and, pacing the floor, pulling their hair out, like, fighting with themselves to not go and do what your body is telling you to do. It's like the Grim Reaper comes and just gets hold of you for 2 weeks of the month and takes everything away from you, everything.
It's horrendous. As I say, some women will watch this and go, that's me.
Yeah.
And then another part of the work that you do, especially online, is discussing how difficult it is to get that diagnosis, how difficult it is to get that help.
I was 23 years before I got a diagnosis, so I definitely wasn't lucky, but I was lucky that someone recognised it, that I'd never heard of it. Someone opened that door for me. But what we're seeing now is I've been very, very open online about my journey for many years, and I'm speaking to so many women every day now who have got these diaries, who have got this diagnosis, like myself, who've got a diagnosis, but there's still nothing there. They take a tablet, take the pill, take this. Why aren't we looking at them from a trauma perspective? Why aren't we looking at them from a holistic perspective, the biopsychosocial perspective? It's an experientially lived condition. No two
100%.
women will present the same.
When clients come to me with suspected PMDD, which it is most of the time, because it's not diagnosed PMDD, it's suspected PMDD, they 9 times out of 10 have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, or they've been diagnosed with bipolar, depression, manic depression, some of them. The first thing I do is I teach them to regulate every single time. Keep a diary of when those thoughts are coming in. Keep a diary of what you are eating and drinking that day, as well as looking at our chemical fluctuation because of hormones and actual cycles. We have to look at it in what we're eating, what we're drinking, how we're moving. And I always say you have to create the environment to thrive. And if you are starting from level 90, you're going to hit 100 really quickly. If you are regulated, it's going to take longer for you to get from 0 to 100. It's not about safety at that point. It's prevention of unsafety. If you already know this is going to happen, let's try and be preventative. Let's try and do as much as we can to alleviate the need. And it is a need at that point. It feels like a need. I've had clients call me 3-4 o'clock in the morning before and be like, I have no one else to call. I am literally stood here. I'm considering doing XYZ. And they've had no help.
I've been in appointments in the past 4 years, and I've told them that I am suicidal. One of them asked me to go and make another appointment. He asked me to go make another appointment. As a woman, it takes a lot for you to go to the doctors, doesn't it? We're always last, aren't we? The kids are first, of course.
The extended family.
Everything. We wear so many hats, don't we, as women? And we only go when we're desperate. A woman in PMDD is irrational. She's aggressive. She's agitated. She's in despair. She's got no hope. She's heightened all them symptoms. They're there in black and white if someone goes and looks for them. Over 50% of women, I think it was 53 the last time I checked, with PMDD will have ADHD. So you're struggling to articulate yourself to access that help as well. Like yourself, I've gone and educated myself, but when I go to the doctors, I barely speak. I can just about get
the environment as well.
Because you're being judged. You go in there, you're being judged. It's awful.
Or is that preconception that they're not going to listen? No, I'm not saying all doctors aren't going to listen. Some of my closest friends are really good doctors, right? They would also agree that a lot of doctors aren't good doctors. And they would also agree that sometimes, like any other profession, it just becomes a job and you lose that spark. And when you are in a career where you are going to be responsible for someone's fucking life or death, you have to live and breathe that career. You have to love that career. And you can see that in you when it comes to PMDD North West and see that you're living and breathing it. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on, is because I thought, no, this is a woman after my own heart. You're not doing the job because it's not going to send you to the Bahamas next week. It's sending you a postcard home. And I think sometimes that's the most important thing. When we have had that lived experience of something that's so cruel, we want to bring kindness to everyone else. It's
such a wicked condition in itself. It robs you of yourself for 2 weeks of the month, sometimes 3, because if you have bad periods as well, most women will have other gynae issues alongside it. It's just so rubbish. For me personally, I'll then have 5 days, can't leave the house.
How do you deal with it now?
Mentally, I'm just so aware. I am the most selfish mother I've ever met in my life, and that doesn't mean that my kids are not adored, cherished, but I know that my mental health, my sanity, my well-being, I just prioritise myself in moments throughout the day. I'm so hyper aware that when I'm starting to
heat
feel
up,
things raise, and I'll have strategies to do that.
What's the main strategy you've got?
Just breathe and be on my own for a little minute. So I've got a 16-year-old, so he's grew up with that. Bella's amazing with it, and me toddler now, I'll just say, Mummy just needs some space. I want to go in the garden, and I'll just take my shoes and socks off. I'll get my toes in the grass. Quite holistic. I'm a little bit of an urban hippie, I think, so I'll prioritise myself. I do yoga, meditation, all that. I actually don't take any medication for my PMDD other than supplements.
Do you think that people that are going through PMDD, the way that you can meditate, do yoga, things like that, do you think that's for everyone? Is there a particular kind of individual that work better for?
Everyone's different. When I was diagnosed, I didn't want to use the pill. I didn't want to use contraceptive because to me personally, I just think if your brain's sensitive to hormones, why would you want to then put artificial hormones into it? That doesn't make no sense for me personally. But when I was younger and I was taking the pill, it did help.
What hormones is it with PMDD that are fluctuating?
Progesterone and estrogen. I think different women are sensitive to different ones.
So a lot of clients that I've had that have not diagnosed with PMDD, but they have suspected PMDD, they will have high levels of prolactin 9 times out of 10. Obviously, prolactin is a stress hormone. It's built through stress, which can eventually cause tumours.
I didn't know that,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you've just learnt me something new there.
I don't know how related that is because obviously I've not analysed all the data. It's just a pattern that I found. They will have raised levels of prolactin, which sometimes is also directly linked to ovarian cysts and also cysts around the brain.
Wow.
And what they'll find is that they will have a diagnosis of bipolar, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, depression, have high levels of prolactin and be in fight or flight. So that adrenaline is surging around the body every day, right? Which means it's really hard to produce a chemical called oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. So if you're not able to produce oxytocin, you want to be on your own, away from as much threat as humanly possible, because your threat response is to isolate, but at the same time, your brain will register isolation as a threat, because obviously as humans, we're made to be together.
Connected.
So then what happens is you end up with more adrenaline, because then you're panicking and your brain will register that as a threat. It doesn't know the difference between a mental and a physical threat. So it will treat it as if you're fighting a fucking dinosaur. Alongside the adrenaline, you're then going to get cortisol. That cortisol is going to cause more stress. It's going to build up. It's going to cause more prolactin. It's a big cycle. I think a lot of women that have PMDD have also had a lot of trauma early on in life. And, you know, it's prevention, not cure, is what I think is needed. Correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I don't do your job. But in my professional experience, if we prevent these things by having more understanding, educating people from a young age, how to regulate, how to mediate things, and how to moderate things.
Communicate the needs.
100%. I think in schools, and I'm going into schools in the next few months, I've been asked, I can't believe this absolute dream come true, right? I've been asked to go into a load of schools and actually discuss with them the neurobiological elements of stress, anxiety, depression, those things. I don't think we learn enough about how these chemicals are impacting us and what they actually look like from a young age. When I was young, I was a little cunt. Kept getting told you're naughty, you're a gobshite, you're that, right? Which just creates more cortisol, just creates more adrenaline. And I was those little fuckers. If you told me no, I was going to do it.
Twice and take pictures.
Yeah. Whereas when you look back now, that's ADHD. You're on the autism spectrum. You're not just a naughty kid dicking about for no reason. Not just that, but I had an incredibly addictive personality disorder. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was doing weed. I was interested in anything anyone had. I'd done a bomb of whiz by the time I was 14. I was in anything that I could get my hands into, I was getting my hands into. I wanted to be in every pot. My hormones were fucked. I probably have more testosterone than most of the men in the fucking muscle gym. Swear to you, because I've been a fucking bear since I was about 11. When you look now, I think my hormones are fucked, my periods are fucked. They're not now, they're all right now, but they used to be fucked for years, to the point where I'd have about one period every 3 months, and it'd be super heavy. At the time when I wasn't having a period, I would still get this influx of hormones. And I don't think I've got PMDD, but I've seen friends have similar to me, and then they have ovarian cysts, high prolactin. One of my really good friends has ridiculous high levels of prolactin and has to go and get checked every 6 months. And she's someone that's been through an eccentric amount, an exponential amount of childhood trauma.
There's a massive correlation with trauma.
If you're not able to process it, it's because you don't have the neuroplasticity to file it. And if you can't file it, it's either not there or it's hiding. And if you're getting used to putting things to the back of your head, fuck knows how much is there. And then you're gonna build up and build up and build up like Apple storage full.
I think it was last year I had a traumatic event. Just something that happened when I was a kid that I didn't know had happened. And I got a flashback of it. It really shook me. My body, I started having panic attacks because my body must have, I don't know what had released it, but it just started coming out. And I went and asked my family about it and stuff, and they were like, "What happened?" And I was like 5. They didn't know that had happened. Yeah. So I've been working through that for the last 18 months.
Your body will hide stuff.
Crazy.
But it can't hide it from itself, that's the thing.
I started getting flashbacks of like smells and sounds and everything. Like it was really, there was loads of sensory input in these flashbacks. Oh, it was so scary.
It's going to have a correlation.
We're still learning so much about it.
It's going to have a correlation. I think with PMDD, we have to look at, I hate to do it, we have to look at how early those sexual organs started becoming used as well. Another correlation I have is with a lot of my ladies that come for coaching. They entered into the sexual world very young, be it by choice, and I say that with choice. You can't make that decision. Or in a forcible way. Okay. And then they've ended up with cysts, period issues, PMDD, endometriosis as well. They end up with these conditions that are caused through inflammation. And inflammation in the body is effectively your body not being able to push the nutrients around your body correctly to reform and recreate and re-accentuate the issues, right? It's basically your body not being able to push the chemicals around properly to replenish.
One of the biggest symptoms of PMDD is extreme bloating. I blow up like I have 2 different wardrobes.
Do you know why you blow up?
Fluids, obviously.
No, it's evolutional. It's literally evolution. When we were cave people and whatnot, right? If a threat came, you needed to be bigger.
Wow.
So that's why when your body's inflamed, it bloats, right? because it quite literally thinks you're about to fight a dinosaur. It's also why when you're in a relationship that's incredibly high stress, your skin will get worse, your teeth will get worse, your hair will get worse, because your body is naturally not able to push any vitamins and minerals to places it needs to be, because it's pushing them purely to the places where it can engage in physical labour. Secondary to that, it makes you uglier, so that threat is less likely to want to reproduce with you. It's all connected. So when this person's been through a ton of sexual or relationship-based or interpersonal trauma, I do believe, and there needs to be more research into this is a correlation I've found with working with these women for years, I do believe it will start with the inflammation in the middle area, and that inflammation will go outwards. So you end up with IBS, leaky gut in a lot of situations. Some of them get celiac, some of them get Crohn's. And then you have your endometriosis, your PMDD. Then you have the I don't know what's wrong with you disease. Right? And a lot of people will get that. You know what I'm talking about? And people will come to me and they'll go, I've got this. I'll go, a lot of that's in your brain. And I don't want to be a man mansplaining it, because I don't want to be that dick. But I'm like, a lot of that's originated from your brain. Your pain threshold is in your brain. Yeah. It ain't in your legs. It ain't in your arms. It ain't in your stomach. It's in your brain. Yeah. And whatever your brain processes as a threat, right? If you are already at level 100 and you have a slight ache in your arm, your brain is going to accentuate that because it wants you to deal with whatever physical problem you can, because it cannot deal with the mental problems. I have a lot of clients. I have one at the moment. She's just finished her course, right? She had fibromyalgia, couldn't get out of bed, all the rest of it. By the time she's finished her course, she's going to the gym.
Wow.
You cannot tell me that disease is not part of the brain.
It's a trauma response, isn't it? Definitely fibromyalgia. I don't work with a lady. I've done sessions with a lady which she facilitated. Has a stick and everything. Fibromyalgia just like rummaged her body, and then she decided to heal herself, and she wrote a book, might have been called The Broken Woman or something similar.
There are some diseases that we cannot just heal ourselves from, and medical intervention is needed, in my opinion. Of course. If not medical intervention, then herbal intervention of whatever modality is required. This is what I talk to my clients about. What you consume creates your arena. Yes. Decide how big the opponent is, because it's you versus you all the time. I have clients that come to me and they're 10 hours a day on the phone, sitting in one fucking place.
Yes.
We're not getting in the sun. We're not washing properly. And I always say to clients, before you start going into your procrastination, whatever that may be, what are the signs? And they go, oh, I don't know.
What's easier to plants?
Are you drinking enough? Are you eating enough? Are you getting outside, right? Not only that, have a look at what your signs are. Do you know that before you go into an absolute 12-week bullshit, do you stop washing? Do you find that brushing your teeth is a little bit more difficult? Do you stop making your bed? Because whatever that first signal is, stop taking it as a fact, starts taking it as an indicator, and change it from that one. Mine used to be, I wouldn't change my pillowcases in my bed. I'd know I was getting bad with like depression, anxiety, because I would rot. And now if I find myself going, I can't be asked changing the bed in, but like a lot of young women as well, they were expected a lot of as kids. And we don't realise that until we get older and we start implementing those expectations into our daily life. Get older, we take that burden on plus some, and we forget that actually we need to be girls. Me and my mate, we will literally turn our phones off and just go and do something fucking weird. The other week we went and started screaming Britney Spears lyrics off a Quarry. Oops, mad, right? Because you've got to do this shit. You've got to be a girl.
You've got to be joyous. You've got to have fun. You've got to be creative. I'm not about men versus women, but that was our role when we were creative. That was our role.
When we're female, there's no stopping us.
I was brought up, so my mum was the youngest of 16 kids.
Wow.
It's 18, sorry.
What?
I've actually forgot how many. No, it was 18. She's the youngest out of 18 kids, right? So you can imagine she's a full-on
Do you not live in a fucking 5-story?
No, she lived in a 3-bedroom. They were all in drawers and whatever. It's amazing. No, honestly, it's amazing. I wanted to do my dissertation on it, but they wouldn't let me. They said the ethics and whatever. And I was like, can't I just interview them all? But my grandma, where you're saying like it was expected of, my grandma was like, there was articles written about her, imagine years ago, and they all lived in flats on top of each other. Every one of my grandma's children, so my mum's brothers and sisters, they're all meticulously clean. It's how they show the love. It's how they show their affection. There was like loads of articles written about her. Like the only thing anyone ever talks about her and says is that her washing was always dead white. As I got older and started learning about mental health and stuff, I was just like, wow. So maybe her kids are all so clean, because if she has 18 kids and all everyone says about her was a white were always dead white, don't you think that's weird? We're made to perform. So all her daughters are exactly the same. I think maybe they had to clean up to get attention. I'm not saying she was a bad parent, because they all talk about how amazing of a mum she was. But I think, how could you have had 18 kids and you're white to be that white? Analyse that.
Do you want me to analyse it?
Go on.
Being useful, isn't it? Nam probably didn't know that she had anything else to bring other than her usefulness. Yeah. So you become the most useful in the room. I see it all the time. So when I have clients that are overwhelmed, right, the houses are spotless. It's because they're not looking at themselves as an individual. They're looking at themselves as a service, what they can provide to the outside world, especially back in them days. Women can't work in them days.
Oh, she did. She worked as well.
What did she work as?
She was like, she run like a youth centre and a wash house. And
well, there you go, right? So she ran a youth centre and a wash house.
Yeah.
So everything was based around cleanliness and kids. I always say we wear our shame on our sleeve. What we're most ashamed of in this world, we project out and we treat everybody in accordance to it. So potentially because she felt so run down, right? She felt so fucked internally. You know yourself, when you're overwhelmed, you don't feel clean, you don't feel your best, you don't feel good.
You don't actually, you're right.
She could have then externally projected that as my house is clean, my kids are clean, my whites are white, as a evidential bit of proof that actually she is clean, she is good. That would have been her armour. In the same way that humour is the armour for a lot of people.
Yeah, mine always was humour. That's why I don't really drink anymore, because I'd drink and then I'd be doing forward drills. I was like and then the next day I'd look at my phone and it'd be like, you were so funny last night and you did this and you did that and you did, you know. And then once I stop drinking, don't get me wrong, now and again I'll drink, but I don't like if I go out, I'm more likely to drink water and just have a few nibbles, and still I don't feel like I need to perform anymore because I'm so settled in myself.
Honestly, I have to be like, no, I do not want it ever again. I can't do it.
But you don't need it.
No, I don't.
I used to think I needed it because I was obviously undiagnosed ADHD. I was all over the place with my mental health, and I needed it at that time and needed the confidence. I don't know, because I'm settled within myself.
How do you think it affects the PMDD, alcohol use?
It's depressant, isn't it? If you're prone to that, then it's just going to amplify everything, isn't it? Just like lighting a torch under your depression and under all the badness that presents, isn't it?
A lot of my ladies that have been diagnosed or are pending diagnosis of PMDD, they self-medicate with marijuana. What do you reckon of that?
So I did used to have, I've never smoked. I don't like smoke. I don't like the smell of smoke. I don't like anything. But I used to have THC oil. So I used to have that. And then I feel like once I went through, I started going through perimenopause last year, and it just started making me feel that paranoid. So I haven't had that for over a year now, I think. And I've now just gone on normal CBD and lion's mane mushroom gummies, and I can honestly say it's doing wonders. It just keeps me like eerily calm.
I swear ashwagandha stops me from headbutting people on a daily basis.
As well.
I take ashwagandha every morning.
Do you?
Yeah. It's a fucking high dose as well, trust me.
I do rave about the CBD though. Rave about it to all my women. That really helps.
I say to a lot of the women, they're self-diagnosing and then they're self-treating with weed. And I have to say to them, look, the studies that have been done, they aren't based on weed that you get from Jack on the bike on the corner. They're not coming from a grow that's been built in someone's nan's basement that we've thrown up in one of the DOS houses. You don't know what that shit's being sprayed with. You also don't know how well it's being cared for. You don't know the atmosphere. You don't know the mold, the pollution, right? There's all different... Not that I've ever had a grow, by the way, for anyone watching this. Yes,
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, I haven't had a grow, but, you know, you've got to make sure shit ain't rotting. You don't know if they're doing that. You don't know what you're smoking.
I do think from a PMDD perspective, but anything that is just going to keep your nervous system calm, whatever works for you.
So you'd say to substitute something with weed if it's going to keep you calm?
No, not necessarily. It's all individual, isn't it? I would never recommend anyone take anything, but it's got to be what works for you. I've tried and tested so many different things for my PMDD, and throughout my journey, it's changed to whatever stage of life I'm at. I think it's terrifying that we're giving young girls the pill. I think it's, to me, I just think it's shocking. Why are we interfering with the most natural thing in a woman's body? Do you know what I mean? Instead of going in and asking, why do you present with these symptoms? Why is it not working? Why are they not being normal, having a normal cycle? Why are we then going to go in and mess about with her?
One of my mates, Sarah, she runs a gut clinic. Those microbiomes would be massively connected to PMDD. She talks about how we can't actually take in the nutrients, right? If we have leaky guts and things like that we don't even know we have. And then I understand that the reason we've got that is through inflammation. And then you'd understand how that inflammation would then create these passive-aggressive cysts, build up.
Loads of women with PMDD have got gut problems as well. When I'm ovulating, my body totally shuts down. I can't wee, I can't poo, I can't fart.
No, why you can't?
My body just, because everything, I just feel like everything's so swollen.
It is. It's evolutionary.
I literally cannot pass wind.
If you're in fight or flight, your body does not prioritise anything that is non-essential.
Days, honestly, and I'm just rolling around in pain. I've got like bowel issues, I've got diverticulitis, I've had my bowel burst. This is more symptoms as well. Women with PMDD, 9 times out of 10 have gut issues as well.
Because women with PMDD have total inflammation and a lot of trauma that's built up. When you're in that state and you can't shit and you can't wait and you bloat like that, the one thing I tell all of my ladies to do, you must drink as much water as possible. Yeah, you must convince your body to digest. Because when it's in fight or flight, everything will squeeze together because it's not prioritising your comfortability. It's prioritising your safety. And it believes you're in a physical altercation. So the last thing it wants to do is shit or piss. It wants you to just be ready for fighting. You have to convince it that it doesn't need to be in fight or flight. There's no point sitting there with a water bottle on you. It ain't going to work, right? I know it's difficult. You've got to get up. You've got to start moving the body, even though it fucking really hurts. You've got to neck a fucking litre of water, right? Even though you don't want to do that and it's the opposite to what you want to do. No offence, you've got the survival instinct of a flea, right? We haven't been taught this. This has grown out of us over years. You've got to treat this like a military operation because that's what your body's treating it like. So get up, drink water, jump yourself around as much as you possibly can. You're going to have to push yourself, wiggle yourself, put your wrists under cold water, deep breathe, and you will shit. You've got a huge nerve running all the way down your body, largest cranial nerve in the body called the vagus nerve. The once that vagus nerve is fucking adjusted, that's it. You're going to piss, you're going to shit, you're going to feel good. And that will also then affect your bleeding.
I did all them things. I push myself when I can't. I try not make plans around my luteal phase, all that jazz. Plan around my cycle. If one of them days comes where I literally wake up and I think I cannot do today, I just don't do today. I will gently move. I do 4 or 5 bottles a day at least.
As long as you're doing those things, it doesn't matter if it takes you 2 hours or 10.
Yeah, I do move. I know I have to move, but I am like a little slug around the house. But I do get there with it. And I do feel like as women that we want to do that in the way that you said it. We do, don't we? Because we're so productive and we want to do these things, but yeah, I feel like sometimes you've got to just let it come, but do it gently.
As long as you're doing it, as long as you're actually making that movement, then it's the same. It's if you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
And people go, well, I can't. Yes, you can.
I'm living proof of that. It's hard because some people are so very medical models and they're waiting for the doctors to give them a pill to treat it. And unfortunately, you can't.
There's no pill to directly treat all that.
There isn't. You've got to figure out. I think the crux of it is keep your nervous system safe, 100%. Keep it regulated.
The symptoms are spanning over numerous modalities. They cannot be solved by one individual pill.
So sad, these women. I went to an appointment, we were talking about this before, weren't we? I went to appointments and I did put it up online. Now, I was in a good place. I was on day 3 of my cycle. So I was in a good place. I had a list of things I wanted to talk to the doctor about. One of them was a referral that I'd asked for a psychiatric evaluation in October of last year, and this doctor was supposed to have facilitated that. So I'd gone with me toddler. He was sitting reading a book at the side of me. I was dead calm, I was dead chilled, and we were going to town afterwards. I was in a lovely place, and it's very rare that I'm like that. So when I am like that, I'm like, right, let's make the most of it. Yeah. And I went to the doctors. I'd specifically asked for a female doctor who does all the menopause stuff in the practice. I'd spoke to her before and I'd had a really positive experience with her. So I felt comfortable going. I didn't have that dread that I normally have. So I went to spoke to her and she was so rude. She dismissed me. I wasn't even going.
Was she having a bad day?
She must have been having a bad day. She was late. I went in and I was like, right, I just want to kind of check on a couple of things. Where are we with the referral for the gynae stuff? And where are we with the mental health stuff? And she was looking and she was like, you can check all this on the app. And I was like, yeah, I do. But with you kind of like facilitating.
With me paying my tax per month for the NHS, I thought maybe you'd do it.
I was trying to be nice about it with having my little boy with me. So she's looking and she's going, yeah, you've been rejected from that referral. That one's closed down, that one's closed down. And I was like, okay, so where do we go from here? Like, she was like, you're responsible for your own health. She just went right on the back foot. And I was like, right, quality of life's awful. And you just pushed them. And she was like, if your mental health's that bad, why are we not seeing you more? And I was like, why? Because of appointments like this and practitioners like you. That's why, I really have to gear myself up to come. And she was like, right to say, you can check on the app. And I was like, but I've got PMDD and I've got ADHD. So sometimes them together, I can't pick my phone up.
I want to come and talk to someone who says, you're going to be all right. Here's the next step.
It was awful. Honestly, it was awful.
Did you report her?
I've reported it, yeah. I've reported it to many organisations. I ended up videoing for my own sanity because what I'm finding, we get gaslit, and if you watch this video, you can see me being gaslit to death.
Let's open it up now.
You can see me saying, please help, and she's saying to me, get out. If you do the sound on it, it's awful.
As the consultation is at an end, we've reached a brick wall. we can't progress further when we're at loggerheads. I think
We're not at loggerheads. I'm asking you, I'm being vulnerable, and I'm asking you, can you please look at some medication for me? Please, can you look at some medication for me?
No, if it's a repeat medication,
it's not a repeat medication. I've come to you to ask for help.
Yes,
I've come to ask for help.
Over now because we've discussed the salient points.
The salient point, I'm asking you to chase things up. I'm also asking you, can you help me? Really, I'm really struggling here to understand as a woman, how you can see me sitting here being vulnerable, telling about my mental health, telling about my gynae stuff. And you're literally asking me to leave. I honestly can't comprehend this from any way, shape or form. Can I ask what you're doing now?
I'm doing my admin.
Wow.
I'm doing my admin.
Oh my God. I cannot hold it. I'm asking you for help.
Shall we just leave, mummy?
Are you sitting there ignoring me?
Because you're not listening and responding in an appropriate manner to...
I've got PMDD and I've got ADHD and I'm asking for help. I'm asking for help, so maybe take that into consideration.
To help you. And it's not good enough, so I have to accept.
It's not that it's not good enough. I'm asking... Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Before I started filming, at one point she was talking to me so bad, and I done that, and I went, wow, like that, and she went, yeah, wow, in my face. She was horrible.
I'm in actual shock,
I
mate.
don't want to see this lady lose her job or her practice, but I want to see this lady have something.
I want to see this lady retrained.
But I've just linked up with the NHS, you know, for my business to go and train NHS practitioners who will hold their hands up and say, we had no training on PMDD. Please tell us your lived experience. That needs to be edited and shown in this training.
Oh, well done, babe. You made it. You're a poster child.
Without her face on it.
I'm absolutely furious.
Honestly, it's abhorrent. It's abhorrent. And the notes, I finally got into my notes, and the notes just say, difficult consultation with a patient due to complex mental health needs. Patient not happy that due to her complex mental health needs, that she has to go online and look. But I've since looked at my notes now, right? They're all over the place. The referral that I went to questioning about, I seen a professional in the end of October, and they said they sent her a letter in October and said, refer her into the community. She needs a psychiatric evaluation. Yeah, she didn't put that referral in until the January. And then it was rejected 2 days later. And it states on the letter, it was rejected because you haven't referred her within the 6 or 8 weeks.
She was projecting because she's the one that fucked it.
Said it, not me.
I'll say it again if you want.
I'm just being really mindful with what's going on around it. But yeah, made several complaints to several different organisations.
You know,
it's being looked into.
I have had some of the most difficult fucking clients in the world. I ain't even going to fucking buttercup it, right? You take a deep breath and you deal with it.
Don't take it personally.
People are coming to you at rock bottom.
Can you hear me saying, please help me?
Yeah.
In front of a baby, then letters after her name, let's take them off the table because she doesn't deserve them right this second. But let's just see a woman sitting in front of you with a 3-year-old little boy who's reading an encyclopedia next to his mum, dead calm, dead chilled. Just be a human, and a woman saying, I'm really struggling, really needs help. Don't even think about it from a professional standpoint. Think about it as basic human decency. My little boy, if you watch the video, you can see his little feet because he doesn't know where he's going.
Fucking bare minimum. She could have said, you know what, sit down, sweet. Let me get you a glass of water. Someone comes to you overwhelmed and you're a medical professional. First thing you do is safeguard that person.
And me saying medication, she didn't know what medication I wanted. If it's a repeat prescription, I'll send it. It wasn't.
It's not a repeat prescription. You're staring at the computer yourself. You're now doing your admin. Which one? GDPR. What are you doing your admin for when there's a patient in the room that can quite clearly video that screen? So therefore it's an eye shot of that person, right? So you're doing your personal admin or professional admin, whatever it may be. At that point, she may as well have grabbed her Amazon wish list up. You're talking down to a patient who's clearly begging you for help. I understand we have time slots, but you've told me she was late.
Yeah.
Right? And then straight away, safeguarding for each human being. So I've had clients that have cunted me 45 minutes of the session because they're angry at the world. And they've been through other therapies, they've been through other coaches, they've been through counselling, they've done everything and they're fed up. So when they finally get to me, 9 times out of 10, they're pissed off. Yeah, with the system, not at me.
Yeah,
I can't take it personally. They're pissed off at X, Y, Z. that's happened beforehand. And then when they get to me, they're starting at A again, right? So
and
they're going to be
you've got
annoyed.
to explain it again. And
That's it.
It's so frustrating. But like you say, bare minimum, say to me, okay, let's book a double slot for next week. Do you know what I mean? I had someone come in to me yesterday in work and ask me something about a child and I didn't know. And I said, do you know what? I actually don't know. Let me email you later on. I'm going to go and speak to the Senko because everything's changed. Be honest, be transparent. Don't be dismissive.
You don't need to be aggressive just because you feel on the back burner, because you don't feel like there's a hierarchy that's adding up for you right now. I always say, you're never the teacher, always the student. And if you believe that you know everything about that situation, you know less than anyone else in the room.
Of course.
So if she'd gone in there and just said, look, I know you're overwhelmed. There really isn't a lot I could do for you right now. Do you want a glass of water? Do you want to tell me what's going on? I'll write the notes. I'll pass it to XYZ, whoever I have the awareness or the ability to pass it to right now that I think can help. Not just, no, you're not listening. Well, if someone is in a panic attack state that you clearly are in that video, of course they're not listening.
I was afterwards. I wasn't before. I went in so calm. I was so regulated because unfortunately this has happened to me before. So another appointment I had, which was with a PMDD specialist, we won't name her, but you only got to Google her. There's only one in Liverpool. I waited a year to get in the room with this lady. I took my fella with me. We went in. She was late. There was no psychiatrist, as there should be per PMDD appointments. There should be a psychiatrist.
Yes.
There wasn't one. She sat down. She had no notes. And I went in and I was ovulating at the time. She did ask me where I was in my cycle and I told her. So she should have known. If I said I'm on day 10, she should have known, right, this lady's sensitive just now.
Yeah, this is going to be like a rocket.
Specialist. Yeah. I went into that appointment. I rolled my sleeves up and my fella said, you walked in, and I said, really? And he was like, oh, you did? He said, you walked in and you were in a knobhead. He went, but she was shocking as well. So we were like that from the minute we got in. I told her I had PMDD. She went, who told you that? And I said, a GP 6 years ago. And she went, you're going to need to be re-diagnosed. And I said, sorry, why? So that was how the appointment started. You're going to need to be re-diagnosed. She didn't look at me. I said, sorry, have you got any notes on me? She said, no, I'm making notes. I said, so you've got no notes. You've got none of my history. You haven't asked me anything about myself. You haven't asked me why I'm here. I said, I waited a year to get in this room. You will listen to me. So we ended up shouting. At one point, I kept saying, stop talking over me, to where she went, go on then. Honestly, I wish it was a video that appointment. It was really bad. And I said to her at one point, I said, look, I took off like a rocket and I was saying, it's disgusting and you're shocking and whatever. And then I said to her, I'm absolutely terrified what this is going to do to my children. As in, from the perspective of me being so up and down, not that I was going to harm them.
It's like a ricochet, doesn't it then?
I said to me fella, just go away, I need to be on my own. And I walked around town for 3 hours just sobbing in the rain. I rang pals and made a complaint about her. I give feedback to the women's. 5 days, ladies and gentlemen, that woman safeguarded my children. 5 days later though, after she'd had the complaint from pals, that lady safeguarded my children 5 days later.
Wow.
And luckily enough, the social worker who dealt with it was open and shut within the day. Of course, my kids are my life. My kids are my reason I'm alive and I fight this condition. So this is what women who are trying to access help are getting met with. We're getting gaslit. We're getting this patient, that, and the notes, but that's part of our condition.
Passive aggressive professionalism rather than passionate people.
Sad. So off the back of that last appointment, that's why I went into this one really calm and scared about my presentation because of me children. So I know there was no way in any way, shape or form I was aggressive in that appointment. All I was doing was calmly questioning what was going to happen next.
With your PMDD, would you ever consider doing a neurobiological evaluation?
Tell me what that is and I'll tell you if I'm going to do one or not.
So neurobiological evaluation.
Is this an offer?
Yeah, if you want one.
Yeah, let's do one.
Oh, yeah. So I look at certain aspects of a person. I'm not here to diagnose. I would never diagnose someone. I need to do another 2 years in uni for that. Not doing that. I've got 2 kids now. I couldn't be fucked.
I want to go and do, before you tell me what that is, off the back of that previous appointment with the PMDD specialist, I walked out that room and I said to my fella, I'm coming for her job. Not in a nasty sense. She can't be a PMDD specialist if she hasn't got PMDD. And I believe that. You don't know. You can't even begin to understand from a mental perspective what that does to a woman.
100%.
Like, you can't. So I am now, not just yet because my little boy's only 3, I think when he's maybe 5 or 6, I'm going to do my PhD. I will be Dr. Rach. and I'll be the PMDD specialist because I can empathise.
As soon as my kids are a bit older, let's do it. I always joke and say, 18 months, that could be Dr. Saz. And then I think it's the S age.
I'm setting this business up. It's slowly growing. We're waiting for funds and now so we can kind of take it to the next level and market it properly and whatever. It's just a girl with a passion right now. But once I've established that business, that will be my research. I'll have access to them women. I'll
100%.
have access to all that data every day while making a difference, while writing about them and their experiences.
100%. When I have ladies come to me that are struggling with their mental health, I do a little MB evaluation and I'm like, okay, tell me what you're eating, tell me what you're drinking, how much you move, what's your sleep like, what's your biggest trigger, how long do you stay on your phone, look at your screen time, what noise irritates you more, clicking or clapping? If you look left, look right, look up, look down, does it get blurry in the middle? Right. So your pupils are dilated, so you're already in fight or flight. And then I'll do some like breathing things, see how hyperventilated they are. So I'll properly assess the client and then put them a nervous system regulation in place specifically for them that they've got to do for 14 days. And they will all see a clear difference. Doesn't matter if they're coming for anxiety, depression, PMDD, pains with endometriosis, whether they're coming because they've got fibromyalgia, whatever they're coming with. Once that nervous system's regulated, life changes. Yeah. And then we look at the external aspects. Who do you talk to every day? Who do you talk to once a week? Who do you talk to once a month? Who have you had more contact with at X point? So we look at the happiest point of the month, who they talk to, saddest point of the month, who they talk to, right? Because other people are also in cycles. And the people around you could be in cycles of necessity, which is where they will see you at your lowest. This is subconscious for 90%, right? And they will add to the plate. But that is because they are used to you needing to be useful to them. So sometimes we have to work out those external cycles as well. And it does go quite deep. For example, someone that's got fibromyalgia, they might be in cycles where once every 2 weeks they argue with a spouse, but they might not realise that also coincides with when they've been in burnout for 2 weeks. Also when that partner is at the end of their burnouts, the partner has more adrenaline, right? But their partner's also got more oxytocin now. They want to bond more, they want to speak to you more, all the rest of it, right? And you're at burnout. So you're going to clash. So it's looking at where you're at with the people around you as well. Also looking at work. Are you just doing your job for the money? If you are, what does money mean to you? If it means safety, what does safety mean to you? Let's work this back. So it's very cross-modality coaching that I do, because although it's very practical and I'll literally say this is what I would recommend, we also have to work back.
There's so many things that influence us. That's why I like the biopsychosocial model. That to me, that's amazing. And I love the Rockenbenner's ecosystem, where you look at the little systems around kids, and obviously my degree was kids, but when you realise how, it's not easy, but when you realise how simple all of these things from all of these systems.
They are. It's not difficult to be happy. It is literally all the little things that will make you happier.
This is why, when I said to you earlier on, I'm the most selfish mum I've ever met. I'll have my cup of tea in silence before I wake the kids. It's little things like that. So to me, if I don't start my day on my own for 20 minutes, sitting on the step, looking at my garden with my little cup of tea, to me, that's just the basic. That's a basic
human need at this point.
I've checked it off, getting my nails done. This is what I say to the women, like those simple things. I always get my nails done around ovulation, because I know I've started ovulating yesterday, so I know I'll go downhill, skin breaks out, so I'll know that that's coming, so I'll book facials around that time, go for swims. It's things like that. It's all regulation, isn't it?
What would you advise a woman that couldn't go to get a facial, go to the gym, shit like that, if they had to just use themselves as a resource?
Use themselves. It's just like, I think journaling's amazing, isn't it? Like the psychological aspect of journaling, it sounds like journaling, but I think if you've got a pen and paper, you can organise your thoughts, and you can kind of, if there's patterns around your thoughts, I think tracking your cycle. Self-care doesn't have to be getting your nails done. It doesn't have to be pricey. Self-care can literally just be a bath on your own. If normally the kids are all in there, you can be mindful in your self-care. It's definitely not about money, because I know women haven't got that, because we've got nothing lately, have we? Like the price of everything's so expensive, but just track your cycle and work your life around it.
Journaling, do you find it's easy to do with the ADHD?
I teach lots of different ways to journal. So I teach kids as well, like I do children's mental health. So I teach kids as young as 7 to journal. There's loads of different ways to journal.
What's the easiest way to journal? Because I know a lot of my clients are susceptible to journaling not being very sustainable.
No, it's not. So I don't journal like today I'm having a bleed, and I will do like a spider graph. I'll do 2 pages. So I teach the children who I work with. So I will journal across 2 pages, and I'll have a mad side. So I do ADHD coaching. So a lot of young lads as well, like they're quite angry, aren't they, with their ADHD. So they might write in the middle, mad. okay, and then circle that, and then just keep doing arms off it. Why you mad? Got beat a footy. Why you mad? Got a bad tackle, because a lot of it's stuff like that, isn't it? Mum shouted at me, so I will teach them to write all these things, and it's messy, but it's getting it out there. It's not sitting writing. A 7-year-old, 8-year-old boy doesn't want to write, and neither does a woman who's in PMDD. I don't want to sit and write, but I want to process what's going on. So I might write whatever, mad, and then all these arms off that, and then on the next page I'll write the word but. Okay, I might be mad because I'm having a really heavy period, or I might be mad about my PMDD, and then I'll put but. I'll just try to think about the things that I've got to be grateful for, and it's a bit cheesy, but I might say like, my womb shit, it causes me so much trouble, but look at me kids, my womb might be the cause of everything that's going on in my life, and it might be a real point of sadness for me, but look at them two.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the most simplest way to journal if you can't sustain. I also do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, so 5 things I'm grateful for, 4 things I'm proud of, 3 things I'm looking forward to. You get where we're going here?
Yeah.
2 lessons I've learned today, and 1 special person.
I'm shit at that. That's my worst one.
What?
They're the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the time I've got to like the end of 5, I'm like, oh fuck this. I've got the attention span of a nit.
Maybe the other one might be good for you, where you can just
I'll give it a little whack. I'll try it with some of my clients as well. I like learning new things. My best thing at the moment is the I get to theory. So it's going in my book. So my book's coming out at the end of August. So instead of saying I have to or I need to, you say I get to, right? So like I get to get out of bed at 7. I get to clean the sink. When we go to say things like how lucky, how grateful, right? You don't feel lucky and you don't feel grateful.
At that moment.
So your body will just reject it and go, I don't feel lucky that I've got to clean someone else's shit off the toilet, right?
Yeah.
But if you go, I get to, it reminds you of your mortality in a subconscious way.
Love that.
And anything that reminds you of your mortality directly triggers the adrenal gland. It will directly trigger the parts of your brain to pull up the adrenaline, but also the dopamine, because it goes, I could die, but I'm alive. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a little catch-22. So for example, yesterday, I really did not want to make dinner. Like, I was in such a fucking little mood. I was just being a twat, to be honest. And I wanted to order out. I wanted to get a takeaway. I wanted so bad to get a little chippy. I wanted fried rice. I wanted all of it. I had it in my head. I had it envisioned. I knew what I was going to eat. And you start picturing yourself eating it. And I had to be like, I get to cook dinner. Because then once you said you get to cook dinner, you start hearing the noises of the kids playing upstairs. There was bowls all over the sink, but that's because I got to cook dinner the other day too. I didn't get to do the dishes yet. It brings you right back into reality. I get to do all of this. And I hate that toxic comparison of, oh, well, you woke up today and someone else didn't. I hate that. I'm not a fan of that. But there's nothing unhelpful about reminding ourselves that we are not immortal. If you get to do something right now, well done. Like today, I didn't want to be sat in the studio for 4 hours. I've got work and I'm like, wait, I get to interview some really influential people. I get to pass these messages on to people that are watching this. I get to be the bearer of good news for people when they think that they're at what bottom. I was like, you could go and sit in a beer garden all day. You do get to do that if you want, but it doesn't hit the same saying I get to sit in a beer garden as it does I get to interview these people. Your body will also create a little contrast. It will create a balance. I think the I get to theory is so important and it's so simple. Some of the best things in this world are so simple.
You know, I teach with the young kids that I do the ADHD coaching with, the traffic jam theory.
Yeah.
They're just figuring out that the brain works different and they're only young and not some of them like newly diagnosed. And it really hit home with the child that I was working with on Friday. And I said, what happens when you're in a traffic jam? He was like, what do you mean? I said, what always happens, like if you get on your way from home, you get stuck in the traffic. And he was like, yeah. Well, what happens at the end? And he was like, well, we go home. I said, well, there you go. Your brain is different. You always get home. It's like a traffic jam. He was like, oh yeah. That's nice kind of it is, for them.
And it's true as well. All roads will eventually lead back to home. I always think of it like that. But another one that my mate told me, well, it's not my mate. It was actually a professor in uni. If she knew I was calling her my mate, she'd be like, we're not friends, sorry. It was a professor in uni and I came to lecture pissed one day. So I said, I don't even want to do this fucking degree, you know, I'm actually going to sack it off when I open my own business. And she was like, all right, okay. What are you going to do if you fail? Right? And I was like, well, I'm not, what do you mean? She's like, well, what's your backup plan? Do you have a backup plan? And I started reeling her off my backup plan. She went, don't do it then. If you've got a backup plan, don't bother. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, if you've got a backup plan, Sarah, don't bother doing it because you are already allowing yourself the opportunity to fail. And I was like, I was pissed as a fart. So obviously this is going in even deeper and I've started crying at this point because it's hit me right in the alcoholic feels. And I was like, but that doesn't apply to everything, miss. And she was like, it does. Backup plan for a partner, you break up with them. Backup plan for a house, you shouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
Backup plan for a job, you don't really want it enough. Anything you do without a backup plan, you do 100%. So if you don't want to do this degree properly, don't do it. You want to turn up smashed, Don't do it. And I turned up sober for the next few weeks. Pretty sober then.
Girl.
Yeah, I think that's actually how I passed. But she was a really, really direct woman, right? I tried to add her on Facebook years later, but she wasn't having it, right?
Get it on LinkedIn.
I don't have LinkedIn. In fact, I've got about 3, but I don't know the password to any of them.
Use it.
I asked my PA to sit us all down and do it.
Please, I need a PA.
Honestly, my PA, she's phenomenal. She does like a million things per day. I don't even know how she does it. She's still doing it right now.
It's sitting down and concentrating, and I feel like classic ADHD. I need a space. I can't send
Ring
an email
someone.
unless I'm sitting on a laptop.
Ring someone. Call someone.
Just phone them.
Phone someone while you do it. That's what I do. If I can't do something, I just ring someone and do it.
Through my degree, I used to sit with headphones on with like focus, and I used to have to sit at the same. That was when I realised that I had ADHD. I used to have to sit. It was
same place with the same snack at the same time every day. Yeah.
That's how it is. And what it was because there was I used to go have a weekend, and like my fella would say, "Well, what time are you be home?" And I'd go, "I don't know." Now I know that it was a demands avoidant. Like there was no time. Sometimes I come home at 4 a.m. There was no time. There was no demand on me. I just time block. I just book off the whole day. And I was like 18 months in my degree, and I was like, yeah, I'm 18, aren't I?
I used to sleep in the library.
No, I did. I used to get woken up on the back staircase. I used to take a pillow. I'm not messing. I used to take a pillow. I got pregnant in my 2nd year of my degree, and then I wasn't going to go back. So obviously throughout the 2nd year, I was just fucked all the time. But my fella worked away, so when he'd come home over a weekend, I'd go to uni over a weekend when my little boy was with his dad. So that was how I got through my whole degree. But I'd just go for the whole day with a big bag of food, a pillow.
Oh, see, I don't have food.
No,
I had a bag, but didn't have food in it.
That's how I did it, and that was how I very, very realised. But yeah, I used to sleep in the library as well.
Yeah, I used to nap in the library after like a 24-hour stint.
Yeah.
I just like crashed.
They got used to me, so like now and again they just used to like kick me and go, "You're okay?" And I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. And then they knew me then by name, and they'd be like, "Rachel, we're just checking you're all right." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm all right, I'm just having a break, just going to sleep on the staircase in the library." Yeah.
Gonna read the crying in the DMs for you.
For you or me?
For you.
For me? You've made these up.
I haven't. Hi Rachel, thank you very much for introducing us to the aspects of emotional safety needed. Not fixing or judging us, but understanding the patterns that some of us didn't even realise would be premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I myself have had depression for around 10 years, probably since the last time that I had a child. By the way, I had a hysterectomy. I used to find it really difficult during day 10 to 14 of my period, as they would last 2 weeks. No one told me this was abnormal, and they just thought it was overwhelming every time I needed support. Since having my hysterectomy, I still have some of the same mental triggers, and the symptoms have gotten worse. Please can you advise what I should look into and what would be useful for me to understand around this time?
So she had her ovaries removed as well?
I don't know, hysterectomy.
Okay, so there's 2 hysterectomies. You can either just have your ovaries taken away, or you can have the full. But sometimes when they give you the full, they leave 1 ovary. So that's really interesting. So if she still has an ovary, she will still ovulate, which is normally around 10 to 14 in the cycle. So she might still be having them symptoms.
Even with hysterectomy?
I didn't know I'd know the answer to that.
That, go girl!
She might still have an ovary.
The advice is go and see if you've still got an egg.
Go and see, yeah. Just find out if they took all your ovaries, right? Yeah, just find out what's going on in that respect.
I think you underestimate how good you are at your job then, didn't you? Well, I can't believe I knew the answer to that question.
But my job's not PMDD specific. That's just lived experience. My job's kids' mental health and ADHD coaching. So, yeah, but she could potentially, because a lot of, like before, over 50% of women with PMDD will have ADHD as well.
Mental.
She could be ADHD. And then if she has still got that
It's
ovary,
definitely ADHD.
Because ADHD is worse and less when progesterone and estrogen rise and dopamine and all that. So yeah, she could be ADHD as well.
Thank you very much, mate.
Into that.
Look at that. Well, there's her going down to the GP. Spitting bars like Mazza.
Just hope she doesn't go to the one that I went to.
I think she'll go to the local GP and she'll be armed with the information you've given her.
Information, yeah, hopefully so.
She can walk in that office and spit pure bars like Mazzarell.
Is he not in jail now?
Yeah.
But I've seen something the other day saying he's had a fight over a vape or something, bless him.
I think that was bollocks.
Yeah.
I feel like that was bollocks.
That's the only news that I've encountered lately. But
Don't think he was over a vape. Okay. He'll be out again soon though.
Yeah.
Meantime, he'll make some straight fire.
Spit bars.
Free Mazza. Free the boy.
Oh, this has been gorgeous.
I really appreciate you coming on. I think it's been fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You're going to make such an impact on people that are watching as well, and I hope you're really proud of yourself.
So we are PMDD North West. We don't have a website yet. We are just on Instagram, PMDD_North West. If anyone would like to sponsor said website, or if anyone has got any funding, please hit us up because we desperately need it. Thanks. I'm copying you.
I love that. Thank you for watching today. It's been absolutely amazing to have Rachel on here, and I'm hoping for you as the viewers you've learned an awful lot, and if not, you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and head over to PMDD_North West on Instagram for more information and just to see whether you or somebody you love could benefit from the services that Rachel's putting out there completely free of charge. Good night, God bless, and as always, don't forget to keep me in your prayers because I'm a fucking angel.